Liberty Bay, formerly known as Summer Haven. This island of the Kingdom of Thais harbors among its many secrets a history written in blood and treasure, for from its very foundation, pirates once called it home. Today, it is ruled by Percy Silverhand through its own corrupted and fractured system. Such corruption has been a fortune of the denizens of Thai nobility who find themselves residing in the northern mansions, while the crumbs have been left to the native denizens of Liberty Bay, finding themselves left neglected to the southern slums of the town. Despite the turmoils and internal suffering which follows Liberty Bay, the promises of treasure and mystery continue on, for the town continues to hold more than one unsolved mystery and promise of unimaginable treasure. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at some of the more interesting citizens of Liberty Bay, the jeweler Chantal and Mr. Lovelace, and in particular, what is hiding in their basement. First, let's make our way to Chantal, just north of Liberty Bay DP. You will know you are at the right shop, for upon entering what seems to be a lavish mansion, you'll be greeted with a gorgeously decorated garden, something that is rare in Liberty Bay. You will find Chantal dressed in her violet tulip dress in a fairly ordinary looking shop. However, in Tibia, looks can be deceiving, for Chantal hides a dark secret in her basement. Next, we'll make our way back outside and look for a hidden cave that will lead to an opening close to her basement. The cave isn't too far, we'll just need to head north past some small mountains until we reach a field opening with some rubble in its center. Use a shovel to reveal the entrance to the hidden cave and head in. Once inside, head down south until you reach Chantal's basement and the secret she harbors within. As you can see, Chantal is not as innocent as she first seems, for within her basement she is hiding a demon. Upon taking a closer look, we can see there is at least one dead human inside with the demon, one dead miner in the tunnels, and the remains of a skeleton in the cave with us. Perhaps these lost souls were prisoners trying to escape the grasp of Chantal, or perhaps they were unfortunate fortune seekers whose gamble didn't pay off. We will never know for sure. But what do we know about this hidden curiosity? To be honest, not a lot actually. Let's first start our investigation with Chantal. Chantal is definitely a lady that appreciates the finer things in life, with little sympathy or regard to those who may be suffering. Her response when you ask her about Liberty Bay really highlights this. However, upon further questioning, we find she gives some positive remarks for Venor, mentioning Mr. Lovelace had to leave Venor for Liberty Bay on business matters and to represent the Venorian traders. It seems Mr. Lovelace plays a role in this mystery, and upon further questioning, she reveals that she finds him lovely and she actually runs his business here in Liberty Bay. Chantal also mentions Mr. Lovelace is close friends with the Liberty Bay governor and an important figure of the trade association in Venor. Unfortunately though, Chantal does not respond to any remarks for Demon and a number of other entries related to the mystery. Very interesting. So, Chantal is just an assistant to the wealthy trader, Mr. Lovelace, who seems to have ties with the Liberty Bay governor and influence with traders in Venor. We can actually find Mr. Lovelace, real name Theodore Lovelace, upstairs from Chantal in his lavishly decorated room. He definitely lives up to his reputation of being a wealthy trader. There are 2 books located in his drawer, one titled The Golden Whale, with the other titled The Treasure Hunter's Manual, though neither offers any additional information on our mystery. Upon questioning Mr. Lovelace, we find he confirms he is representing the Venorian traders' investments and wares within Liberty Bay, along with his allegiance with the Thaian governing body. He also confirms his friendship with the local governor. But despite his assistant Chantal's apparent affection, Mr. Lovelace actually has eyes for Eleanor, the governor's daughter, and does not respond at all to any mention of Chantal. In fact, not a lot of NPCs do. Unfortunately, Mr. Lovelace and Chantal does not give us too much more information, with the exception of a mission from the Thieves Guild, where a player does a series of mini-missions to gain access to the upstairs room in order to steal a goldfish for Dorian. There isn't much more mention, information, or references to this location in Tibia. It would also seem Mr. Lovelace has much more to do with the answer to this mystery than his assistant Chantal, and given his power and influence, perhaps even the governor himself is behind the mysterious demon. Now, for those interested in the whispers and tales found only in the late night taverns of Tibia, some players do link a connection with Theodore Lovelace to Abram Iron of Venor. If we head to the shopkeeper Zed at the Iron House in Venor, we find he offers some interesting information. Firstly, he mentions Abram is the owner of this market, although he doesn't think Abram is an honest trader. When you ask him about honest, he mentions he overheard his boss, Abram, doing some shady deals with a man in a black cloak. Zed also mentions the shady deals relate to a mighty sword and a rare distance weapon, and confirms he thinks the sword being discussed was the Excalibur, which a man in Edron can obtain. What is interesting here is Zed is confirming his boss Abram is involved with some shady deals with a man in a black cloak relating to the Excalibur, and possibly a rare distance fighting weapon. Some players have linked Theodore Lovelace as being the person involved in the shady deals, given he is a wealthy trader and representative of the trading company within Venor, and is dressed in a dark grey and black noble outfit. If we continue our investigation, we can find Zed's boss Abram Iron just upstairs here, dressed notably in a hero's outfit. If you mention Excalibur to him, he does respond, indicating he would reward the person who brought him this weapon. What is interesting here is his dress of choice, which is identical to Avatar, who can be found in Edron. Avatar also has strong links to many of Tibia's mysteries, with a reputation of being a mighty hero. Some players believe there could be some treasure hidden in the trunk of Theodore Lovelace's basement, protected by the demon, which is linked to this Excalibur sword, and some unsolved quest being linked to Abram Ironeye and Venel, and Avatar in Edron. However, most believe these are just tales and false connections. Lastly, there is also a peculiar trunk tucked away near the NPC Marcus by the Liberty Bay boat. Head up these stairs, and on the second floor you'll notice a trunk tucked away in the corner. This trunk can't actually be moved or opened, and when you look at the trunk close up, you'll see it says, "You see a heavy trunk, it is impossible to move, and it is locked." This trunk is another little mystery of Liberty Bay, and some players believe it holds a connection with the mystery demon, given similar trunks can be found inside the basement. But you know what they say about tales and rumors. What can be said to be true is the secret has found its way among the many mysteriorendos found in Tibia, written in legend and to be solved by a player like you. If you have any information relating to Chantel, Mr. Lovelace, or their demon, feel free to reach out in-game or in the comments below. If enough information is gathered, we can work on a part 2 for this tale.
Hey guys, Tib Tales here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this investigative series, feel free to take the like button's fishing rod and hit that subscribe button. I'm also looking at uploading some other goodies, including some new social media platforms where we will upload content in addition to YouTube. So keep an eye out for those links in the description. If you have made it this far, as a little treat, I've included a little Easter egg in the video. I've hidden a mini demon somewhere in the video. The first person to comment the timestamp on where the mini demon icon has been hidden will earn 250k on Antica, and I'll pin their comments to the top. Until next time, happy hunting!